Today, PlayStation hosted their State of Play event, and with it, to the surprise of many, we did not see Marvel's Wolverine. However, they still did deliver with a brand spanking new Marvel game being announced titled MARVEL Tōkon Fighting Souls. In this video, I'm going to go on ahead and get you guys caught up on all the details about the game, everything that you literally need to know with today's exciting new announcement. And of course, this is going to be yet another one of the games that I will be covering here on the channel because after all, it's Marvel and I'm a huge fan, so I cannot wait to see what they cook up with this one as we get closer to the full release, which by the way, is not that far away. Now, of course, before we dive into all the nitty-gritty details, please don't forget to scroll on down and smash that thumbs up button. Thank you guys so very much for your continued support and kindness. And without further ado, let's dive on in. So surprisingly so, when we get an announcement for a brand new game that no one has heard of or expected to even be announced, it's usual that we pretty much just get like a little logo and maybe if we're lucky, a look at one or two of the characters. That is not how Arc System Works. Hopefully that is not confusing. That is the team that will be building the brand new Marvel fighting game titled MARVEL Tōkon Fighting Souls, because holy moly, these guys went ahead and spilled all the beans. I mean, they revealed so many cool details for this one, so there's a lot to actually talk about. Of course, like I mentioned, this is a game that is being made in collaboration between PlayStation and the very, very iconic Arc System Works crew from Japan. They are cooking up an epic 4v4 Marvel fighting game. Now, of course, obviously, when you hear Marvel fighting game, you probably jump to the conclusion of, oh, I played Marvel vs. Capcom, as did many of us. So I am certain that there will be a lot of comparisons between this title and the Marvel vs. Capcom series, but this time around, in order to distinguish themselves a little bit, they're going with a 4v4 approach instead of the classic 3v3 or 2v2 combo fights that you would run into in Marvel vs. Capcom. Now, not only are they going with this a really kind of surprising approach of 4v4, because after all, when I heard that, I was like, that sounds pretty epic. But then there was something that also jumped into my mind where I was like, hold on, does that mean I have to learn 4 separate characters in order to be able to play well? Because if you're going to be competing against another player who's controlling or has a good understanding of 4 characters, all of their combos, all of their different movesets, that's a lot of investment that you need to make into the knowledge of a game before you can feel like you're actually competent. Well, it seems like they've gone ahead and addressed that, or at least thought of it as a potential hurdle. Because over on the official PlayStation blog post, they went ahead and expanded with the following details, saying, "We have designed the mechanics in such a way that you can perform a variety of actions with either traditional fighting game inputs or simple inputs. With the press of a few buttons, multiple characters can appear on screen to provide backup or attack together, creating a new and exciting team versus battle." Indicating that they have thought through this, and they actually did talk about this even in the official trailer that they talked about, where essentially they said that we are aware that having you learn 4 separate characters in order to feel like you're competent is probably going to be a pretty major hurdle for the average video game player, not someone who's an expert at fighting games. So they're addressing that from the get-go, which I think is smart. If you want to try to cast as wide of a net as possible for players, I think that is definitely the right approach. So there will be a simplified method of playing this game, which is more, I guess, noob friendly, while also allowing you to have that high ceiling in terms of skill if you want to go ahead and learn the nitty-gritty details of each individual character and become incredible at all of them and feel like you're really, really competent. So I do think that that's very smart. We'll see how it actually comes off once we get to play the game. Now, speaking of playing the game, we won't have to wait very long because this game will actually be launching in 2026. Which is another exciting part of this reveal. I mean, we went from not even hearing any sort of rumors about a game like this existing to it being announced, and we get to find out that this thing is coming out next year. That is a very quick turnaround, and that is certainly quite exciting. As far as the platforms of release, this game will be limited to the PlayStation 5 platform and Steam/Epic, therefore obviously the PC platform. So unfortunately, if you're an Xbox player, you will not have access to this title, at least as of right now. It does seem like this game is being made by PlayStation themselves in collaboration, I guess, with Arc and of course Marvel, but it seems like PlayStation is the one that's footing the bill for this entire development cycle. So it makes sense that PlayStation would try to make this one exclusive to their platform, but I guess in kind of a generous W move, it will be available on PC as well, which I'm stoked for because that means more people get to play and enjoy this title. Hopefully they will also confirm cross-play between the two platforms. So next, let's talk about the characters, because of course fighting games, I feel like, live and die by the roster of characters available. And holy moly, most games, again, we're lucky if we get like 1 or 2 playable characters revealed in an original trailer. Here we're getting 8 of them revealed all at once, and they look pretty dang fantastic, with one exception. But I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think of the playable roster as well. So far, here are the playable characters. We have Captain America, we have Iron Man, we have Spider-Man, which is the one character that I don't particularly love the way that he looks. Just personally speaking, I think that one just, I don't know, the design for him seems a little busy. So hopefully he'll have an alternate costume that looks a little bit more like traditional Spidey. But again, maybe that's just my own pet peeve there. Doctor Doom, who looks freaking incredible. We have Storm, who looks unbelievably cool. Then we have Ms. Marvel, who I think might very well be the coolest looking design in this entire trailer. Then we have the very cool looking Star-Lord. And of course, we also have Ghost Rider. This is specifically the Robbie Reyes version of Ghost Rider, which is why we also get to see one of his what looks like ultimate attacks of him literally in his flaming car driving at his enemies, which looks absolutely bonkers. Now, since we're on the topic of characters, the producer for this game at Arc System Works, Takeshi Yamanaka, said the following about both the characters that they've already chosen and ones that we can expect for the future, saying, "There are so many amazing Marvel characters that it was quite the struggle to choose our roster, but we did have some criteria for the selection process. First and foremost, we wanted to include characters who we feel to be the face of Marvel," which I feel like they certainly did even with this reveal trailer. I mean, you look at a character like Iron Man or Cap or Spidey, those are definitely really popular, huge characters, no doubt about that. But at the same time, we also needed to select characters that would give us a balance of battle types and styles. So that talks to the actual gameplay and the variety of gameplay that the characters can offer. And lastly, he says, we wanted to sprinkle in a few surprises and leave room for characters who have never been playable in a fighting game before, which sounds pretty dang awesome, because that means that some of the characters that have appeared in the many Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite games will probably not appear in this one. It doesn't mean that all the characters from there will immediately be converted into this game, and we can also anticipate to see some surprises. So maybe some newer characters that Marvel created recently, or maybe characters that just simply have never got to shine in a fighting game. Now, if you're worried about the authenticity of these characters and how they will be played in this brand new game, fear not. They are going out of their way to definitely spruce up the visual side of things, adding their own flair and their own art style to the designs, no doubt about that. However, they did specifically say that each character will feature a bespoke set of normal, special, and unique attacks that are inspired by their abilities and powers from Marvel lore. So that means that they are definitely trying to do their very best to make sure that we are getting a very authentic reinterpretation of these characters, which sounds pretty dang awesome to me. So I cannot wait as we get closer to release. I'm certain that we're going to start to get individual character breakdowns so that we can start to see some of the combos and craziness that we'll be able to pull off with some of these iconic Marvel heroes, and I guess villains as well. And finally, the last topic that we're going to go on ahead and cover in today's video are the stages. Another huge element of fighting games is not just the characters that we get to use, but where those fights get to take place. And they did go ahead and say that these stages will be filled with tons and tons of Easter eggs, which again, I think that's a huge positive indicator that they do have people that love the Marvel Universe working on this game, because again, it takes those kinds of people who are passionate about this world to spot and plant really cool Easter eggs throughout a stage. So I think that that is definitely a very good thing to hear from the development team themselves. They also did confirm, interestingly enough, that most stages in this game will also feature multiple areas. The transitions between these areas are not just action-packed and stunning to witness, but they also play a strategic role. And they specifically obviously mentioned that the stage that we see throughout the trailer, the initial trailer, is titled Marvel's New York City, where we can see 3 separate different areas being visited throughout the trailer itself, which is a massive, massive W. Also, I guess it's worth to note that it seems like possibly a teaser of an additional stage at the very end of the trailer where the 4v4 crew is kind of charging at each other in some type of a coliseum. We'll find out what exactly that stage is, obviously, as we get closer to release. So there you guys have it. That is everything that you need to know right now for MARVEL Tōkon Fighting Souls. I cannot wait to go ahead and learn more about this game. I'm extremely excited for this. I was a huge fan of Injustice. I had a blast with Marvel vs. Capcom, so I cannot wait to go ahead and get a full standalone Marvel fighting game. And it seems like it's being made by some incredibly talented folks, so hopefully they knock it out of the park and we all end up with an absolute instant classic. Like I mentioned at the top of the video though, guys, of course, if you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to scroll on down, smash that thumbs up button, make sure that you're subscribed so that you do not miss out on any future updates for this game and anything else Marvel, DC, and beyond related. So of course, hit that subscribe button. I'll hopefully catch you guys here on the next one. Peace out. I'll see y'all later, alligators.